Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your #1 source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
Justin, we have a medium risk for flooding on Saturday. That triggers a weather alert day for Saturday. I'll show you how much rain we'll see along with the wind.
Plus, a man is dead after a shooting in Durham. Coming up, I'll tell you where it happened and show you what investigators have been focusing on.
And a record number of people are expected to travel for Memorial Day weekend. Coming up, we're going to tell you what airports are trying to do to ensure that passengers get where they want to be.
Heartbreak for the Carolina Hurricanes. The team's promising playoff run is over after a 4th straight loss to Florida. Just a heartbreaking finish. Not the way the Canes wanted to end their season, but what an amazing season it was. So much resilience, so much heart, and Caniacs are so proud of their team. Good morning, everyone. It is 6 o'clock. I'm Renee Chu.
And I'm Jeff Hogan. Yeah, kind of such a big bummer there last night. Another 1-goal loss in this. We have a beautiful sunrise behind us, but our topsy-turvy weekend just keeps adding on here. Elizabeth Gardner of the WRAL Severe Weather Center. Brand new information.
Yeah, not great news for folks who had outdoor plans over the weekend. We're looking at windy conditions. That actually begins tomorrow on Friday, and it will stay windy at least through Saturday. We have rain in our forecast starting late Friday all the way through Monday. But Saturday, we do have a level 2 or a medium risk for flooding. And so we could see up to 2 inches of rain on Saturday. We're going to walk through the timeline coming up. On top of that, it's going to be a chilly day with temperatures only in the mid-60s. So it's going to be an uncomfortable day to spend outside. Today's looking just fine. Here's a look at RDU. Temperatures are in the mid-50s. Today's going to feel a lot like yesterday. Some clouds in the morning, a little bit of sunshine in the afternoon. Cool this morning in Roxborough, 43 degrees. That's a little warmer down south, 64 in Fayetteville and Clinton with mid-50s around the Triangle. We'll climb into the mid-70s for highs this afternoon. Today stays nice and quiet, but tomorrow the wind begins to pick up and the rain starts late in the day. We'll see a high of 72. Saturday, a WRAL weather alert day for the amount of rain that we may see in the wind and the cool temperatures. Sunday, not much improvement. We'll see scattered showers and cool temperatures. And even Monday, looks like we'll have at least a 40% chance of rain across our area. We're going to walk through the whole weekend, hour by hour, coming up. Brian?
Here at 6:01, just getting reports of a minor crash in Holly Springs at Holly Springs Road at Sunset Lake Road. At the moment, we're not seeing any delays through that intersection, but I'll watch those sensors and let you know if we start to see some problems developing. Going to head out to the west side of Durham for a live look at 147 at Hillendale Road. We're looking fine in both directions. No delays this morning between I-85 and downtown Durham. Another live weather and traffic update coming up in about 10 minutes.
And breaking news right now out of Durham. A man is dead after an early morning shooting that happened just after midnight on Ganyard Farm Way. It's right off of Holloway Street. Michael Grace is there in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. Michael, you've been seeing police going door to door trying to gather information out of this.
Yeah, that's right, Jeff. And right now there's a group of about 3 investigators discussing right outside the mobile command center. There's also even more officers inside that mobile command center. And I'll get you to this video of what the scene looked like earlier when I first got here. This is video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. You can see a lot of that focus on a car parked in the middle of the street. It's actually got its door open. There's an evidence marker right next to the car. But yeah, you could see those investigators going door to door. Most people coming out in blankets, in their pajamas, and they were asking everyone on this block just about what they saw. Now, we're still working with investigators to find out the name of that man who was killed and find out if they have any leads on a potential shooter at this time. Live in Durham, Michael Grace, WRAL News.
The official Memorial Day travel period starts today, and it's set to be a busy one in the roads and in the skies. Near-record travel numbers caused chaos at airports last year, but officials at RDU say they're ready this time around. WRAL's Nia Hardin is live at RDU this morning, and Nia, airlines are promising that we will not see a repeat of last summer's problems.
Yeah, Renee, and that's what we hope, because we know that this is going to be the busiest we've seen for Memorial Day travel when it comes to pre-pandemic since 2005. So we're talking a big difference here that we're going to notice. And right now, things are starting to pick back up after they were able to get the line down. You can see here at TSA. TSA is preparing to see 10 million passengers going through checkpoints this weekend alone. Today, RDU will explain how they plan to keep travel going after last Memorial Day and summer left passengers stranded. Airlines were understaffed and experienced record delays. Airline companies now say and have promised this summer will be better. To make things easier, TSA will allow teens under 17 to use TSA PreCheck with parents. Travel experts still warn that passengers need to reset their expectations.
I tell people, pack your patience. You need to understand that airlines don't have all the flights, as many flights as they did pre-pandemic. So you just got to factor that in, use travel insurance or have it in your back pocket in case there is a delayed, a misconnection, things like that.
Now, RDU will be speaking this morning. We're going to be there. We'll have the latest on that information for you, and we'll keep that on the WRAL News app. Naya Harden, WRAL News in Wake County.
Going back out in front of it is Kachuk, who scores!
Another dramatic goal in this series. Carolina Hurricanes season is now over with that Matthew Kachuk goal scored. Less than 5 seconds left in the game. Gave the Florida Panthers the win in Game 4, 4-3. Coach Rod Brindamore says despite the disappointing result, he is proud of his team.
From the seat I had, that was a pretty good game. You know, pretty impressive effort, and it's the way we've been all year. And in these 4 games, it's a tough way to end it like that. You know, that's going to be tough for sure.
Every game in this series decided by 1 goal. The 3rd straight time dating back to the early 2000s that the Canes have made it to the Eastern Conference Finals and been swept out of them. Yeah, that was the moment here locally. The heartbreaking goal, a tough pill to swallow for Canes fans who gathered at Carolina Ale House for a watch party. The fans spoke with WRAL after the game, saying they would take positive memories away from the season.
I would say the season was awesome. I don't take back anything. Obviously, the clean sweep was sad, but they pushed super hard. They worked super hard. You know, they've had many injuries throughout this season with Fetch out and everything. So, I don't know. I think they did really well.
They certainly were up against the odds with injuries. Hundreds of fans came out for this watch party last night, including a special appearance from the Canes mascot, Stormy.
Improving school safety will be top of mind in Orange County today. The school system's safety task force will meet to discuss ways to better protect students and teachers. You're invited to attend to share your opinions and ask questions. The meeting is set for 5:30 this evening at the Whitted Building on Tryon Street in Hillsborough.
A busy Garner Road is back open this morning after a hit-and-run crash. Garner police closed Timber Drive for several hours overnight. They say a car plowed through some small trees in the median and then crashed near Vandora Springs Road. Police say the driver then got out and was hiding in the bushes before officers were able to catch him. A passenger in the car was rushed to the hospital. We're working to get an update on that person's condition and about the charges the driver may face.
95. That's the number of charges a Harnett County teacher accused of sex acts with students is facing this morning. A judge set the bond for Denny Dalton at nearly $1 million. The sheriff's office says all of the crimes happened during school hours at Triton High School. WRAL learned that Dalton resigned immediately after officials approached him about the accusations. This morning, parents are filled with frustration, questions, and concerns.
That's scary, man. It makes me want to pull my kid out and say, okay, homeschool or different school, or, I mean, I don't know. Especially having this one here, I couldn't imagine.
According to court documents, at least 5 of the victims range in age from 13 to 16 years old.
happening right now in the WRAL Live Center. People in Guam are picking up the pieces this morning after Typhoon Mawar made landfall there yesterday. This was video of the storm yesterday. It ripped off roofs of homes. It flipped vehicles and shredded trees. You can see the intense winds there as well. Luckily, there are no reports of any injuries or deaths yet, but I want to show you this video again. This is what it looks like today. You can just see the damage and destruction. Northern parts of the island got more than 2 feet of rain. The international airport in Guam also flooded this morning. So the storm briefly made landfall yesterday as a Category 4 storm. Officials in Hawaii's weather service are also assisting with Guam, as well as the military. The Navy did order an aircraft carrier strike group to head to the island to help out over the next couple of weeks, because they are certainly going to need the help. The storm is expected to threaten Taiwan next. That is where it is headed right now.
Michelle, thanks for that update. We're just a week away from a deadline to avoid a potential economic crisis, and still no deal to raise the national debt ceiling. So a live look at the U.S. Capitol building. Right now, House lawmakers are going into recess today. They will be called back if a vote is needed on a debt ceiling deal. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy said Wednesday negotiations are making progress. President Biden has stayed mostly silent. Republicans want big cuts to social programs before they agree to raise the ceiling.
It is not my fault that the Democrats cannot give up on their spending.
This is a manufactured crisis, plain and simple.
If there is no deal by June 1st, the country could fail to pay its loans for the first time ever. The ratings agency Fitch just put U.S. credit on a negative watch, meaning it might face a rating downgrade.
Some women may be at increased risk of heart problems. The new research that connects it to irregular menstrual cycles.
I'm Ken Smith. Have you taken your multivitamins this morning? Well, coming up, we'll take a closer look at a new study and the effect these vitamins could have as we get a little older.
And just in a little bit ago, we have a medium risk for flooding on Saturday. We're looking at 1.5 to 2 inches, which would mean some isolated flooding. I'll go over the timeline for the rain where you are coming up.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
It is 6:13. It's a nice quiet start this morning, similar to most days this week. We're starting with some cloud cover. Look at the whirligigs here in Wilson. They're spinning around. It's likely to be a little breezy today, but the wind really picks up tomorrow through Saturday with some gusts up to 30, 35 miles per hour. 55 right now in Wilson, 54 in Durham, and 64 in Fayetteville. It's been a little bit warmer in the south this morning. We have a front that's dropping in our northern counties, and that's actually allowing it to warm up a little bit down south. Mild start this morning, mostly cloudy. Temperatures in the mid-50s in the Triangle area. As the kids are getting off the bus this afternoon, temperatures will be in the mid-70s. It stays dry. Our humidity remains low. It should be a pretty nice afternoon. Of course, all that changes beginning tomorrow. The rain state starts late Friday. I'll show you the timeline coming up.
Here at 6:14, some new information about that crash I'm following between Apex and Holly Springs, Sunset Lake Road at Holly Springs Road. We've learned they have dispatched an ambulance out there, so it looks like this is a crash involving injuries. Right now, we're not seeing huge delays through that intersection, but we'll watch those sensors and let you know how it's looking. Quick check of your major approaches into Durham. We're now picking up a 1-minute slowdown on the westbound side of Highway 98 coming out of northern Wake County from Highway 50 back to 885. Your other major approaches into Durham, though, are looking pretty good, Jeff.
Brian, thanks. There's a backlog of requested autopsies, and it is growing in Wake County. Right now, officials are having to change the way they store bodies as a result. Officials say they're planning to use shipping containers that can hold up to 50 bodies if necessary. The county says it had an informal deal with the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner for 25 years. They would store Wake County's bodies that were waiting for autopsies at their Raleigh office. But county leaders say they were told last year to find another place because of capacity issues.
We don't have any specifics on what the permanent solution is. We're going to do a study here in the fall that looks at the permanent solution and what is best for Wake County.
We reached out to the medical examiner's office for a response and to ask if they're providing any resources to the county, and we haven't heard back from them yet.
A new study found women who have irregular menstrual cycles may face a higher risk of cardiovascular disease. Researchers found cycles that are fewer than 21 days or more than 35 days come with higher risks. They said women with shorter cycles were found to be at higher risk of heart attacks. Women with longer cycles were found to be at higher risk of irregular heartbeats. Health experts say between 14 and 25% of women worldwide have irregular cycles. A multivitamin a day may help keep memory loss away. Ken Smith joins us now this morning to talk about a new study that shows the impact these vitamins have on a certain age group. Ken.
Yeah, Renee, multivitamins are so much a part of our routine, particularly as we get older. This study coming from researchers at Columbia and Harvard. More than 3,500 people over the age of 60 participated in it. Some people were given a multivitamin daily over 3 years. Others received a placebo. The study found people who took the multivitamin had better memory function, even at the point of slowing cognitive decline that comes with aging. Researchers say more testing is needed before recommendations can be made. But here's a word of caution. Doctors say multivitamins should not be a substitute for living a healthy lifestyle, like a nutritious diet, exercising, and getting adequate sleep. Now, coming up on Today, Dr. Natalie Azar will discuss why the benefits of multivitamins have long been debated with mixed options. Because some doctors are saying, don't worry about multivitamins, just live a healthy lifestyle. But clearly from this study, there are some benefits to them.
And it's not supposed to be a replacement, but it is extra insurance to take that. We just have to remember to take one every day.
100%.
Ken, thank you.
A man may be facing charges after his encounter with a baby bison sparked anger on social media. Take a look. Officials in Yellowstone National Park say they were forced to put down this calf after it was abandoned by its herd and started walking up to people. They say a man had pushed that struggling calf out of a river where it was separated from its mother. Officials say his interference caused the herd to reject the calf. They say the man faces a $5,000 fine and up to 6 months in prison.
And that's why you have to stay away from the animals at Yellowstone. 6:18 now. Let's talk with meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner about Saturday and how it's now a weather alert day.
It is. So this is new information coming in this morning. We have a medium risk for flooding, especially from the Triangle area southward during the day on Saturday. We're looking at 1.5 to 2 inches of rainfall. So some scattered to isolated flooding would be possible on Saturday. So it is a WRAL weather alert day. But there are some other elements to what we'll see on Saturday, too, that really increase that chance that, it's going to be at least a very uncomfortable day. So we're going to see winds gusting 25 to 30 miles per hour. And we'll see, of course, the flood risk. We also have cool temperatures in our forecast, highs only in the mid 60s. So it is going to be a day that you really don't want to have to spend too much time outside. Not your perfect Saturday for a holiday weekend by any means. Here's a look at what's happening right now. Low pressure system is here. That low is going to move up the coast, and that's what's going to produce the rain for us. Let's jump on into Futurecast. We're going to start this on the wide view so you can watch this low and the timing of it as it moves up the coast. This is Friday at 8 a.m. So tomorrow morning, we're nice and dry. But ahead of the low, we'll start to see some rain late Friday into early Saturday. The low itself will actually back in across South Carolina. And what that means is it's going to spread rain all across the state. So if you're thinking, maybe the mountains will be okay, not so much. It's a coastal low. So some of the heaviest impacts will be along the coast where we could see 4 to 6 inches of rain. We'll also see rip current danger and some beach erosion over the weekend. Sunday at 6 a.m., that low continues to push off to the west. It will likely be a little bit lighter in terms of the rain that we see. And then again on Monday, some scattered showers. We'll take Futurecast. This is our high resolution model. So this will take us all the way out into Saturday. And you can see late on Friday, a few light waves of rain coming up from the south. We're not likely to see much rain until after midnight on Friday. What we see on Friday afternoon down to the south would be fairly light. But here comes that heavier rain. There's 8 a.m. on Saturday, and you can continue to see that up until around 2 o'clock. After that, it becomes a bit banded. But we're looking at a significant amount of rain. We'll pause it there Sunday at 10 p.m., and you can see as much as 2 inches of rain in the Triangle, as much as 2.5 inches down to the south. The farther north you are, the less chance that you'll see any of that flooding. But we'll continue to add rainfall, through Monday. So easily we'd be at 2.5 inches by the time the weekend is over. We actually have a 10% chance that our coastal coastal low develops into a tropical system. It's not likely at 10%, but again, strong winds along the coast, dangerous rip currents, flooding possible, and beach erosion. So it's going to be a messy weekend at the beach. Our temperatures along the beaches Saturday in the low 70s will climb up to close to 80 as we get into Sunday and Monday. Monday looks like the best day no matter where you are, but even in the mountains, it's going to be chilly. Temperatures mostly in the 60s over the weekend with a good chance of rain all 3 days. We continue to have a chance of rain even into Tuesday. So there it is. I don't even know what to say.
You have no control over it. You just tell us what to expect. It is now 6:21 as we take a look at traffic. We still have this crash reported in the Holly Springs area between Fuquay, Apex, and Holly Springs there at Sunset Lake Road at Holly Springs Road. A crash apparently with injuries, and we are starting to see some delays building, especially on Holly Springs Road heading through that intersection. Also just getting reports in the past few minutes of a crash at Averett Road at Jones Dairy Road up in the northern part of Wake County. Working to get some more details about that one. I want to take you out to Cary for a live look at US 1 and 64 at Tryon Road. Headlights are northbound coming in from Apex this morning. Right now, not picking up any delays from Highway 55 all the way up to I-40 in Raleigh.
The start of Ron DeSantis' presidential campaign did not go as planned. Reaction from his campaign and his political opponents after a glitch-filled announcement on Twitter.
What's love got to do? With it.
Remembering a rock icon. A look at some of the tributes to the legendary Tina Turner. Up next in What's Trending.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
Tributes to the legendary Tina Turner keep coming in this morning.
Brian Schrader here now with What's Trending.
Yeah, former President Barack Obama sharing his thoughts, calling Tina Turner raw, powerful, and unstoppable. And from the music world, Christina Aguilera shared a tribute overnight, saying that Turner paved the way for so many people in the industry.
She was absolutely a showstopper and, fondly remembered from a lot of these images that you're seeing right here. And everybody wanting to know what was the cause of death, what happened. But in recent years, she had a stroke, she had battled some kidney disease, things like that. So we'll wait on official word, but, she'll be remembered and missed.
She was the queen of rock and roll, simply one of the best.
Absolutely. And I highly recommend that HBO documentary that came out a couple of years ago. It is just amazing, talking about her life. This morning on Today, actress Gloria Rubin will talk about her relationship with Tina Turner. She left the hit show ER back in 2000 to become a backup dancer on Turner's 24/7 tours. You can watch that here on WRAL coming up on Today. Margot Robbie says that she had fun trying to keep Ryan Gosling in character as Ken on the set of the Barbie movie. Robbie says that she left him a pink present with a pink bow every morning, and all the gifts were beach related because Robbie says that Ken's job is just beach.
Yeah, Barbie's busy being a doctor, being president, being a pilot, and Ken's just hanging out at the beach. That's Ken's life there.
It's a good gig if you can get it.
It is.
Not bad. Brian, thank you. Take a look at WR's Keely Arthur dancing for charity, raising money for the Carolina Theater. This is footage from the Dancing with the Carolina Stars contest last night. She won over some hearts. She won in our book, but she didn't win the competition. Did a phenomenal job, though. Looked great. The event raised more than $90,000 for the theater.
Go Keely.
Well, today starts the Memorial Day travel weekend, and there is going to be a record number of passengers. Coming up, we're going to tell you what the airports are doing to try and make sure there's not chaos like last year.
A man is dead after a shooting in Durham. Coming up, I'll tell you where it happened and show you what investigators have been focusing on.
Saturday is now a WRAL weather alert day. We have the potential for flooding and windy conditions. I'll go over the timeline coming up.